Don't forget to unfreeze as you witness humans meeting their unbearable match in 30 scariest bear encounters of the year. Bradley and a few other hunters are going on a once-in-a-lifetime deer hunt in Wyoming when something appears in the woods behind them.
Got it. Back.
A grizzly bear, weighing in at around 400 pounds, has joined in on the fun that the group is having.
Back. Yeah. You tell him I'm coming.
Bradley shows his weapon to the bear, which instinctively backs away from them as fast as it shows up. When they are unexpectedly forced to come to a halt in the middle of the woods, two hunters find that the tables have been turned on them. Wes Marchak and his friend carry out their routine activity of scouting the land every day in the expansive wilderness of the Appalachian Mountains. In order to avoid the dangers of the wild, they retreat to higher ground, where they are instantly left unable to speak after this unprecedented move from a joiner. They are both shaken and amused by how unpredictable nature and its forces can be. The curious bear cub spares them. They depart with grateful heart. On their way back to the city, a driver and his companions encounter a rest stop that is significantly larger than expected. Traveling back from a road trip, Sergei and his friends traverse a foggy road where they see a hard-to-miss figure in the middle of the countryside's highway. They attempt to scare the bear away from the danger by honking their horns as loudly as they can, but it does not appear to be willing to listen to them. When they realize the time, they decide to take a chance with the grizzly bear and quickly drive past it in order to flee the scene without taking any damage. A normal day at the office for a work-from-home mom is disrupted when some uninvited guests crash on their patio. Colleen is in the middle of getting some work done when she sees something other than her daughter's toys laying around their patio. The young animals congregate near her house and investigate the surroundings by sniffing and looking around. Colleen is fortunate enough to have some furry friends nearby who are able to scare away the ravenous cubs and send them running back into the forest. A man's typical after-feast walk turns into a life-threatening encounter when a rather unexpected fellow tags along, unleashing a series of heart-pounding events that leaves everyone on the edge of their seats. The man quickens his pace, curious and apprehensive. As he draws nearer, he realizes it's a massive bear, prompting him to reconsider his hiking adventure and find a safer path to explore.
So here I am, minding my own business, walking down the trail. Who do I find? Oh.
He quickly ducks behind some trees and then makes a determined effort to frighten the large brown bear away from the trail.
Go away, bear.
Danny, a native to the region, is aware of the situation and maintains his composure as he attempts to reason with the bear. The plan works, and the bear sees that the man does not want to hurt him. The huge and powerful bear thankfully keeps walking and leaves poor Danny alone. A group of hikers are in for a surprise after meeting a strange creature on its daily walk through the forest. In Glacier National Park, Brandy and her family, along with other tourists, are startled when they see a figure so big just a few meters away from them.
Get up the hill.
The guide walks up to the animal and quickly pulls out a handy can of bear spray as he tries to scare it away.
Go on, get up the hill. Get out of here.
Something out of the ordinary stops a man in his tracks in the sweltering Russian summer.
Знакомство продолжается. Готовишь машину, обнюхиваешь. Правильно.
Later on, he confirms that the encounter he had was indeed an Ussuri brown bear, who was gladly just curious rather than hungry. When a family disregards the warnings given by park rangers, they receive a valuable lesson about the consequences of their actions. Yellowstone is the natural habitat of the grizzly bear, so it usually does not surprise the locals. Park rangers are often put in charge of both humans and animals, and they specifically told this family not to pass the area for this very reason.
No, he's messing with my car. No.
What's he doing? He's climbing up.
He's climbing up on the car. No way, Shay, huh?
The bear performs for them, but the child in the car is unamused by it and grows increasingly agitated as it continues.
Oh, great. How did this happen?
Soon after, a park ranger comes upon their vehicle and instructs them to continue driving forward in order to escape the bear's harassment. These Japanese women are put in a state of fear as a result of a rather embarrassing situation that involves a particularly cheeky bear. As its name implies, the Japanese black bear is a native of Japan's dense forests, so its sudden appearance should not surprise most, well, except for this guest.
No se muevan.
It would appear that the bear is having a good time by showing an excessive amount of interest in the young woman. When the guide repeatedly tells the bear to back off, the animal eventually gives up and leaves the woman alone. Bear watchers get a lot more out of their experience than they bargain for whenever they come across a particularly flashy bear. Jenny and the other eco-tourists in Kodiak Bay, Alaska get this close to a giddy adolescent brown bear who then proceeds to do this. It does not take long for the startled bear to realize he is not as welcome as he had hoped and prances off with his brother in search of friendlier territory. After an unanticipated run-in with a powerful beast in Grand Teton National Park, a couple finds themselves on the precipice of danger.
Just don't turn your back to it. Just keep going.
Ben Harwood and his girlfriend are on their way to the river when they come across a grizzly bear and are forced to turn around.
Yeah, stick stuck to it. He's really pretty, isn't he?
He really is, yes.
Just calm down.
He's a beautiful animal.
And then just watch your footing.
As Ben reassures his girlfriend, he keeps his voice audible enough so the bear can hear them and steer clear of their path. In the marshes of the Aleutian Peninsula in Alaska, a man who's asking for it gets his breath knocked away. In the beginning, Patrick and his friend are marveling at a large brown bear in their midst. He takes a chance and makes himself available to the bear, who promptly performs an action that would not be out of place on the National Geographic Channel.
Whoa! Pull it!
They freeze in their places as the bear puts on a fake lunge at them. After what happened during their trek, Patrick should think well enough not to mess with bears. A strange creature that is both curious and terrifying rudely interrupts a group of fishermen by a lake. Travis captures the moment their leisurely lakeside trip turns a little too extreme when they catch a rather unexpected visitor on camera.
I'm videotaping him.
The bear appears to be keeping an eye out for any suspicious behavior and had stopped by for a closer look.
You can have my beer.
After that, the bear thankfully stops bothering them, and they are able to go about their day without further interruption. In the middle of the day, an unusual thief ransacks a pickup truck in the middle of the road and gets away with it. After returning to Churchill, Canada from a trip to the United States, Robin Jackson gets assisted with his luggage by a very odd-looking valet. Despite Robin's best efforts to find some belongings, he rummages through an empty suitcase, feeling disheartened, while the cheeky polar bear saunters away, victorious and uncaught. A man and his dog are left frazzled when an odd-looking trash collector picks up their rubbish for them. Intrigued yet cautious, Boris watches as the enigmatic creature's nimble paws effortlessly sort through the trash, revealing its remarkable intelligence and unconventional abilities.
Perkele, siihen et koske, saatana vie.
Boris, known for his deep, booming voice, had unintentionally startled the bear, causing it to lose its balance and collapse onto the forest floor in a bewildered heap.
Vie helkaten ruoman voi. Hugo, tänne näin, paikka. Hugo, paikka.
It quickly returns empty-handed to the thick forest from which it had come, its footsteps fading into the wilderness as if it had never been there at all. A logger foolishly believes that he could outrun such a nimble creature by taking to the trees, underestimating the agility and speed of the elusive creature he is trying to escape. However, as he climbs higher, the creature effortlessly follows, revealing its remarkable ability to navigate the forest canopy. Within the dense forests of Russia, a local logger is pitted against a powerful beast in a climb that is certain to end horribly. Desperately attempting to free himself from the bear's grip, the man's adrenaline surges as he continues to ascend the tree, his heart pounding with every passing moment. The bear's swift departure provides him with a chance to escape unharmed, leaving him grateful for the fortunate turn of events. When a motorcyclist is traveling through the Italian Alps, he is in for a startling experience when he sees a massive figure traveling along the road. He comes to a complete stop in the middle of his journey in order to determine whether or not the road ahead of them is secure enough for the two of them to travel.
Ciao bello. Ciao.
They come to the conclusion that neither of them is a danger to the other, so they go on their separate ways, acknowledging that they had been fortunate to have such a once-in-a-lifetime experience. Caleb Jacques, a fearless grizzly bear safari guide, astounds onlookers with his hair-raising expertise and death-defying maneuvers as he cunningly outwits a mighty mammal deep within the treacherous Alaskan marshes. His awe-inspiring actions leave spectators in awe and disbelief.
Hey.
The guide, a seasoned wilderness expert, calmly instructs the group to slowly back away, their hearts pounding with adrenaline as they realize the precariousness of their encounter.
You get.
He is not an expert on bears, despite having spent a lifetime learning about them, so he is getting a gun ready in case things get desperate. After a few yells, the bear decides to make a break for it. A hunter in the snowy forest of Oregon witnesses an event larger than life that involves a creature that is so dangerous that it could be detrimental to future nature enthusiasts. As Bill continues to make his daily circuit through the forest, he comes across a mother bear who is clearly very agitated, her growls growing louder and her protective stance indicating she is ready to defend her cubs at any cost.
Hey! Knock it off!
He knows that the safest thing to do at the moment is to keep his voice as loud as he can. A loud shout from him causes the bear to run off into the forest and retreat to her cubs. People who had gone to Glacier National Park with the intention of watching bears are terrified when one of the animals charges down the path toward them. AJ and her travel group are having a blast sweating through their hiking gear when, out of nowhere, a bear goes extremely berserk on them.
Don't run. Don't run.
Running away is never a good idea when a bear is charging at you, and thankfully they don't learn that the hard way after they tell the rest of the team and steer them away from harm. A man trying to improve his lifestyle decides it would be fun to go running through a trail, but what he does not count on is something far more sinister than a few extra calories. Sean, a trail runner from British Columbia, tries a new forest path in hopes of a better run. He flies faster than a road runner after seeing something tailing him. Heart pounding, he darts through the trees, feeling the rush of adrenaline fueling his every step.
Holy shit.
Running for dear life works for him this time, and he admits that he was fortunate to have gotten a head start from the big old grizzly bear. A man in the middle of a treacherous hunt, with adrenaline coursing through his veins, has his wildest dreams and deepest fears intertwined as he unexpectedly comes face to face with a formidable and mythical beast, forever altering his perception of reality. Northern Alberta hunter Clint experiences extreme euphoria at the sight of a once-in-a-lifetime chance, and then this unfathomable thing happens, leaving him in a state of shock and disbelief, forever altering the course of his life. The curious mammal casually struts in front of Clint, wanting all the attention given to it. After doing so, the hunter and bear part ways. An interested animal crashes one man's lounging session at his peaceful home, filling the room with unexpected energy and captivating his attention, leading to a delightful and memorable encounter that lingers in his heart. Luis from Asheville is in for a surprise when a rather peculiar encounter interrupts his leisure time as he scrolls through his mobile phone. As he swipes through his favorite social media app, he sees something in his periphery and promptly gets shocked. Luis watches in awe as the bewildered bear, startled by the movement, hurriedly prances away and disappears into the thick wilderness, leaving him in a state of utter disbelief and lingering amazement. These hunters get their end of the bargain when they come across such a vicious opponent, testing their skills, resolve, and pushing them to their very limits. Jonasson and a friend are traveling along rivers in the Alaskan wilderness when they come across a horrible sight that stops them in their tracks. Trying to scare the bear away, Jonasson brings out a weapon. This act proves to be effective as the bear immediately runs away upon seeing it. When an unusual customer walks into the loading dock, the mood at the workplace goes from relaxed to mortifying in an instant. The man seen in the video, named Matt, gets his reaction caught on camera during a heart-pounding moment he has at work. A charging brown bear enters the premises of their workplace as they go about their day and does this. Thankfully, Matt's healthy limbs allow him to leap out of the way of a charging bear. A wildland firefighter and nature photographer, Curtis Matishwin, encounters a black bear and uses a tactic from the books.
Whoa, bear. Hey, bear. Hey, get out of here. I'm leaving.
In a standoff, Curtis doesn't budge or lower his weapon for one bit and continues this brave act of survival.
Hey.
After a few spritzes of bear spray prove effective, the bear waddles off, retracing its steps. A family decides to take their kids camping, thinking it would be a fun outing for everyone. But things quickly take a terrifying turn for the worse. While Filippo and his sons venture higher onto the mountain to excavate some toilet soil, a mountain bear follows them. Filippo tells his son to take it easy as they descend the hill. He then lets out a loud whistle to frighten the bear away. A murderous mammal gone berserk interrupts an innocent family and their pets in the French countryside. When Edna and her dogs are left alone, a ferocious and hungry beast does the unthinkable and terrorizes them. Like any protective mother, Edna fights the bear herself and succeeds in saving her dear dogs' lives. A group of hikers prove the saying, "safety in numbers," when they encounter wildlife in the most daunting way. Dan and his friends are out venturing on the Upper Kananaskis Lake Trail in hopes of getting a good camping spot when this happens. After the bear is satisfied with the show it puts on in front of the guests, it nonchalantly walks away, leaving them unharmed. A man camping in Alaska has an extremely close encounter with a full-grown animal and its offspring.
Continually to walk backwards. The mom and the cubs.
The clip starts with the man nervously describing the scene as two bear cubs and a mother bear are walking towards him on a trail in Katmai National Park in Alaska. Eventually, the man and the cubs make it back to camp, and the animals can be seen walking away from the man at the edge of a body of water. Though the interaction goes about as smoothly as one could expect with a grizzly and her cubs chasing you on a trail, the credit should go to the man who handles the situation properly. He keeps himself calm and walks away from the bears with a watchful eye. And that's all for today's video. If you liked this one, please subscribe and make sure to check out the other ones in our channel.